Hi everyone, my name is Alyssa Gonzalez and today I'll be introducing my grant proposal. My proposal is called The Role of Nursing in Outpatient Aesthetic Medicine and Its Impact on Patient Confidence and Social Perception. My topic is really personal to me, not just as a nursing student, but as someone who's currently working the front desk at a plastic surgeon's office. Every day I see how nurses and surgeons play a major role in helping patients feel safe, heard, and excited about their appearance and their upcoming surgeries. But I also noticed something that there's not a lot of research that directly connects nursing care with how patients feel about themselves and see themselves in every day. This is what basically sparked my idea. My hypothesis is basically that says patients who receive compassionate, attentive, and nursing care during outpatient aesthetic procedures like Botox, filler, surgical procedures, and also even something as simple as laser procedures are more than likely to report an increased confidence and more positive perception with how others view them post-procedure and how they will be viewed post-procedure on social media. There's also research out there that shows how aesthetic treatments can boost self-esteem and reduce things like social anxiety. There's also a lot of studies on how nurses help with confidence building in other areas like oncology and reconstructive surgery, as well as physical therapy. But there are not much ties at all in this specific region, but more like demographic of patients that talks about the cosmetic aspect and where they're getting the ideas, which directly comes from social media, especially where surgeries aren't as involved and recovery is fast. The gap is what I want to fill. Basically, how outpatient procedures are tied into the whole confidence perception. Why does this matter? It's basically because aesthetic medicine is going fast. It's becoming more of a trend than it is a region of medicine. More and more people, especially women and younger patients, especially in my demographic of our early 20s, are super malleable and want to look like celebrities. It's basically a whole bunch of pressure that's put on them. More and more people, especially women and younger patients, are turning to this treatment not because they want to look perfect, but they claim they want to feel refreshed, confident, and more of themselves, which is a perfectly achievable look. Nurses are often the ones holding their hand and being honest with them, telling them what will and won't work for them. Even after thorough aftercare, patients try to push the boundaries, but it's our role as medical providers and nurses to kind of be firm in that stance and not allow patients to do things that they are not a good candidate for. With this study, I hope to show that nurses are not just medical support in the outpatient aesthetics, but they're also emotional support. Day in and day out, do I see patients come into the surgical clinic basically insecure, afraid, and in my office they specialize specifically on sinus surgery and with rhinoplasties. They actually have coined the diamond rhinoplasty. You'll see patients on day one come in very timid, shy, but once they come back 2 weeks later for the post-op appointments and they see their new nose, it's like a whole change in energy. Same thing with older patients who come in with sagging skin concerns. We also address head and neck surgeries as well as liposuction in those areas. And when the older ladies come in and they notice that their skin is so much nicer, it's like a whole different person walks into the building. Injectables, aesthetics in general, and cosmetic surgeries all tie in a huge boost to confidence, and not all of them necessarily are 100% cosmetic. There's plenty of ex-athletes that have come in to get their nose done and corrected. Not only is it cosmetic, but it's also function, and the confidence that you know that like you're feeling your best, you're doing your best, you look your best makes all of the difference. If funded, ideally, my research would usually consist of patient surveys, but I actually intend to do it in a different way. I would like to do patient testimonials and follow journeys on social media so they know the real in and out and behind the scenes about it. I would also like to do short interviews with patients who do outpatient procedures like filler and Botox, their reasons why and where they get the motivation from. And I would also just like to show you the differences in the before and after pictures. Something as simple as a picture can tell 1,000 words, and you can see in the difference of the patient's confidence, especially after post-surgery. That's pretty much my grant proposal. It's all what it's about, and it's such a bigger picture. This is just a small piece of the puzzle, and I'd love to get you guys to hear more. Thank you.